Disclaimer on today's episode, it is going to be pretty dark. We're going to be covering topics such as CP as well as other deviancies in that realm. Also, it could be triggering to the people who want to be parents, but for whatever reason can't make that happen. So just be warned, and my heart truly does go out to anybody who can relate to this episode. Now, we know that surrogacy, it was an amazing scientific invention for the people who need it. At the same time, we need to acknowledge the incredible sacrifices that the surrogates go through in order to make somebody else's dream a reality. The first being of course, the physical distress that they go through during childbirth. And then also there's the emotional piece. They form an emotional bond with the child that's growing inside them, only to have it ripped away from them because they signed a legal contract and they have no rights to that child once they get the money. Now you may be thinking, well, that's what they signed up for. They knew what they were getting into. Yes, that is true, but as humans, we need to have empathy for our surrogates because we don't know what they're going through in their lives. Now, what's worse is that this can be exploited by people who are rich and don't necessarily need it or deserve it, but can afford it. One example of that is Chrissy Teigen. She just had her 4th child via surrogate, as she posted on Instagram, because she always wanted 4 children. Now, what bothers me is that her first 3 children were via IVF, where at least she's carrying the child and not a third party. Now, she does clarify in her Instagram post that she lost her 3rd child, Jack, to a miscarriage, so I do feel for her. But why not try via IVF again and save somebody some physical and emotional distress and not put their life on the line? Clearly, I have my issues with Chrissy Teigen for many reasons, but unfortunately, she's not the subject of today's episode. We're talking about somebody much worse, Shane Dawson. For those of you who don't know, he's a YouTuber. He makes a lot of conspiracy theories, and he has over 19 million subscribers on YouTube. Now, he's married to his husband, Rylan Adams, and they just had twins via surrogacy, and he posted on Instagram, Parker Adams Yaw and Max Chandler Adams Yaw, born 12/7. There are no words to express how it feels to be the fathers of these 2 beautiful boys. The best day of our entire lives, and nothing else will ever compare. We probably won't be showing much of them in the future, but because of many of you have been on the journey with us, we felt it was right to show the destination. We are so unbelievably grateful. Thank you for the love and support during this entire process. We can't wait for all the moments that are on the way. Cherishing every single one. Love, Shane and Ryland. And then they did this photo shoot, which is incredibly narcissistic because they threw on this gown like it's a costume just to pose with the baby as if they were the ones that went through the process of the childbirth. Now, the difference between them and Chrissy Teigen is that at least Chrissy Teigen mentions the surrogate Alexandra, who then comments her gratitude for being part of the process as well. Now, thankfully, the screenshot from Shane's Instagram shows the comments that would segue into my particular gripe with Shane, as well as many other people, referring to his pedo jokes and revolting comments and how is he allowed to be a parent. Because the fact is, in the past, he's made some unfathomable comments about kids. Now, this was on a podcast, and I have the audio, and we're going to take a listen. Viewer discretion is advised.
And the 6-year-old girl goes, oh, how many followers do you have? I have 125,000.
No.
Her dick was almost as big as mine.
Really?
And I said, okay, little big dick, why do you have so many followers? And she goes, oh, I'm a cheerleader. And I'm like, oh, really? And she shows me her Instagrams, which are like, first of all, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but like, she's like sexy. She's like sexy.
You're disgusting.
I know. Listen, we've talked about pedophilia
this
before.
is Shane. Like, do not say this, and like, I don't even want to talk about it. Like, you will get arrested. Like, he kind of can.
Listen,
he
allegedly,
has this justification for pedophilia,
okay,
and it's so disturbing. And like, I just pretend that he doesn't.
Okay, wait, no. Let me explain. Let me explain.
Oh God.
Here's my justification for pedophilia.
I can't.
Here's my thing. People have foot fetishes. People have fetishes about, everything. Fine, everybody do your thing. So why is it when somebody looks at Google's like naked baby on Google and jerks off to it, they can get arrested? I don't understand
because
Now, if that wasn't bad enough, there's also comments he's made about his cat.
I've done to my poor animals. They will never love me. I've done terrible things. I used to...
Oh, no. I don't know if you want to go there, Shane. What'd you do?
One time, I laid my cat down on her back.
You won't get arrested for this.
I don't know. No.
Think about it.
I don't think so.
Okay, go ahead.
I didn't penetrate. I laid the cat down on her back, and then I
Whoa.
moved her little chicken legs, like, you know, spread open or whatever. And I was like, if I just like hump, but like on her tummy, like that's not weird, like whatever. And then I humped it, and it kept going, and I came all over the cat.
No, you did not.
It was like my first sexual experience.
No
I was also
way.
like 19, so it's like, you know.
Wait a minute.
Wait a second. Did you just say you came on a cat?
Guys, I think I have to put money in the meter.
Yeah, right?
I mean, clearly the people around him have heard him say these things many, many times, because at one point you even heard her say that she pretends she doesn't hear the things that come out of his mouth. And in my mind, all of this is enabling that sort of bad behavior. Nobody's really putting a stop to it. Now, if all of that wasn't bad enough, here's the icing on the cake. He was under fire with Will Smith's family for a video of him pretending to spank his monkey to a poster of Willow Smith, who was only 11 years old at the time. Now, FYI, I did my research, and all of this happened over 10 years ago. And also, he has since apologized on X, saying that he was molested as a child and uses it as a coping method. Now, first and foremost, being molested that young is terrifying, and nobody should have to go through it, and I feel for Shane. But at the same time, it's unacceptable that people on X are using this to justify his behavior. And even more so, from those tapes, it didn't sound like he was actually making these up. These sound like his real life experience, but let's just say he is making it up for argument's sake. This is further proof that he isn't fully healed and should in no way, shape, or form be able to raise a child. Now, it appears the adoption process is much more arduous. The application, the wait time, the background check, and even if you're squeaky clean, you may still be rejected. Whereas with surrogacy, it appears that if you pay the price, you'll be on your way, and that's that. Now, I know people personally who have tried for years to have kids, but to no success, and my heart breaks for them because they're some of the most nicest, down-to-earth people that I've ever met. But Shane Dawson, this depraved monster, gets to raise children in this world? That's abhorrent. Now, this whole thing brings up another issue because he said that his justification was that everybody has their fetishes and they shouldn't be shamed. Well, here we have the Prostasia Foundation, who claim to be wanting to protect people from child abuse, but in an article published in 2023, they said that MAP, minor attracted person, should be used rather than pedo. Why? Because there's a stigma, and nobody should feel bad about themselves. Yeah, bullshit. By the way, Matt Walsh did an episode about the Prostasia Foundation where he exposes them for who they are, and I will link that in my description. But this is the direction we're heading to as a society. We've stopped shaming people, and it's to our detriment, because some people's behavior is so far gone and hurting everybody around them and the fabric of society that the only way to get through to them is through ostracizing. Because if we don't, we're going to keep enabling people like Shane Dawson. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to this channel, hopefully I've earned a subscription. Here's some videos for you to watch in the meantime. Until next time, peace out.